Hello, good morning to you. Welcome to Business on News Desk. Now, workers of the VRA are unhappy about government's decision to sell off some of its assets. We will shortly be bringing you a feed from the office of the VRA, where workers are currently holding a press conference to that effect. But meanwhile, for now, let's take you to the Public Accounts Committee sitting, where the Minister of Defense is currently appearing before the committee.
What is in other income in 2013, that is not repeated in 2014. What is in it? And then also your investment income. Where is the investment in your financial statement? Which I can't find the investment, unless it's classified under something else.
Mr. Chairman, the statement as I have here, there is investment income. I'll have to check the book that you have, because which I'll give out anyway, is there. There's investment of 2014, 2,710,995. And then in 2013, it was 2,119,855 Ghana cedi. But like I said, there is all the other income. Nothing has been taken away. What the center just did was to take the students, which is a core trade item, from the other income and put it under the trade income. That's all that they did. There was no change. And of course, like I said before, the way Kofi Annan operates, we operate largely by the support of donors. So sometimes a donor can give you €2 million, $2 million, and the next year he gives you less than that, or he gives you more than that. So it will vary depending on what they give. And at that time, our which period, they redeem their pledges. So it will depend on what time they redeem, and then the exchange rate, because we do our audit in Ghana cedi. So if somebody is obviously giving you in dollars, and the dollar rate was 3 cedis and it's now 3.5 or 4 cedis, it's going to fluctuate. And it all depends on it. You remember at a point, this year, for example, at a point, the cedi was much stronger. And then it started falling again. So it depends on what time you do the audit.
Sir, Minister, I just want to know what is in. If you look at table 224, under 2013, there is other income. There's none for 2014. So I want to know what is it that you had in 2013 that you don't have in 2014. That's what I want to know.
Mr. Chairman, which page is that, so that it will help me?
But it's on
5-1.
Yes, on the income statement for 2014.
Mr. Chairman, like I think I mentioned this to you, that if you take their own statement and the way the auditors prepare, there's a slight difference. In their statement, they separated the debts into other debtors and then trade debtors. But if you look here, they box it together. So if you look at what the auditors themselves have written, it's not a direct photocopy of what they have written here. The other is the same thing that the auditors have written, but the language is just different. The auditors use the word other income, while they use the word other debtors. It's as simple as that. And the income, like I said, their core income comes from students, comes from investment, and comes from people who pay money, like the United States, like especially from Germany. But they also do Mr. Chairman, they also do a lot of hostel fees charging, and they do courses outside the country and then they pay. They run courses outside the country and then they pay. For example, they have just signed an agreement with the UN. They have signed an agreement with ECOWAS. So it becomes other income. That's what I'm trying to mention to you.
Okay. Thank you, but I hope you probably will check to see whether there was no other income at all in 2014. That's what I'm trying to. Because there's nothing there for 2014.
Okay.
Maybe it's an omission. So please, will you check? Definitely sure that there was other income, but it is not recorded, or there was no other income in 2014.
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, you indicated that the income for the center is mainly from government and from donors. Is there any indication of continuous support from donors?
Mr. Chairman, the appetite for donors to support the center is very high. The two board meetings that we have scheduled, we normally have 3 board meetings in the year. The 2 have scheduled. The appetite is very, very high. And I think that the center itself, Mr. Chairman, largely is putting things in place for the future. You know, when Ghana was just below the middle level income country, we're receiving a lot of support. But as we move higher into a developed country, we are going to have people who feel that, well, we are now okay. So the center itself is trying to put in structures, and one of it is to build very good 3-star hostel that can make a lot of money, and by the calculation, it will rake in something that will support the center. But for now, the appetite from our development partners is very high. It's largely because they view the center as a very strategic center, and that management is very good. They themselves send in their auditors. Apart from our auditors, they send external auditors, they themselves, to audit their own income. And largely, they have been very perfect. And I think next week, either next week or the week after, they're going to send their own auditors to come and do exactly what our own people do on their resources. And it's been largely good. So the appetite is there that the resources that are given by them to the center has been used judiciously. And I think that, I hope and pray that that support continues. But there is no indication that it will not continue, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Colleagues, this is not for the Minister. Page 515 of the report, the change column under surplus stroke deficit should not be negative, should be positive. Should be positive. And then also page 516. If you see the financial position as at 31st December 2014, so the first column should read 2014 instead of 2013. And then the second column should read 2013 instead of 2012. Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, I think that will be all for you. We thank you very much for coming. You hear from us through the report of the committee.
Mr. Chairman, the center is grateful and the minister is grateful. Thank you.
You are discharged.
So that was the Defense Minister, Dominic Netiwul, facing the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament. Now, let's bring you some business news, because some farmers in the northern region are upbeat there will be a bumper harvest with the introduction of Government Planting for Food and Jobs program. The program started this planting season with a supply of quality seeds and fertilizers to farmers at a highly subsidized price across the country. Speaking during a tour of some farms at Sang, Director of Agriculture in the Myong district of the Northern Region, Abednego Abusore, said about 800 farmers had been enrolled and were benefiting from the flagship agriculture project. He said many others are trooping into the district's agriculture office daily to be part of it because of the success story so far.
The first phase of the Planting for Food agriculture policy of government focuses on supporting farmers with subsidies to acquire fertilizers and seeds to grow maize, soya beans, rice, sorghum, as well as vegetables such as onions, pepper, and tomatoes. The program, which started this planting season, has seen government supply quality seeds and fertilizers to farmers at subsidized prices across the country. The Director of Agriculture in the Mion District, Abednego Abosori, who led a tour of some of the farms of Sang, said about 800 farmers have been enrolled and were benefiting from the Planting for Food and Jobs project.
Look at this, and I would say that the patronage for this particular program is high. Okay. Because if I want to look at the records, especially with maize, we have so many farmers into maize and that kind of thing, because of the sensitization that we've gone out there. So what I want to feel, or my opinion, is just that there are farmers who are benefited from the package. Whatever you are paid, the rest that are left, try and make it up so that the program can continue. As I said, this is one of the most flexible programs. And it is evident that because we have witnessed significant increase in the acreages of maize, followed by rice and then the others. And so I think that those who think that the package is not helpful, maybe that is their own opinion.
Some of the farmers were of the view that government's agri initiative had raised the expectation of farmers for a bumper harvest and called for the same support to be extended to livestock farming.
They brought some chemicals and they came and even sprayed the place. The first one, then the second one, they said we should do it. So after the worms, it destroyed. We those who were able to buy to get the chemical, but those who couldn't get, it destroyed the farms. So there's one house by my house, that man, he couldn't get there. So in fact, it destroyed. When you go to his farm, you shed tears.
So Planting for Food and Jobs has really helped us a lot. The price is moderate. Everything.
The visits to the Mion district and other parts of the region was meant to ascertain the initial impacts of the agri policy on farmers in the area.
Now, away from farming, government has justified review of the old Tema liquefied natural gas LNG deal, describing it as very expensive. The previous contracts would have engaged 3 firms, Quantum Power and West Africa Gas and Kahil Supply Kahil Supply LNG, and construct an import terminal. But government insists the old arrangements would have cost the country more than $1 billion. The GNPC last Friday finally signed a new agreement with Russian-based Gazprom, that is the largest gas producer in the world. Deputy Minister of Energy William Oreku Edu explains to Joy Business how this new deal would improve a power supply in countries.
The Gazprom thing is just a supply of LNG, and I think a lot of work, great pains were taken in the selection of the suppliers. So that one is no, there's no problem as far as I can see with the supply or the involvement of Gazprom and Sahara to some extent.
What would that mean for power generation? I will talk about that.
Reliability, because of the steady supply of the fuel.
Meanwhile, energy analyst and executive director of the Kumasi Institute of Technology and Environment, Ishmael Ejekumhene, has been speaking to government's decision to engage Gazprom in a sales deal. In a Skype interview earlier on the marketplace, Ishmael Ejekumhene supported the current contract with the world's largest gas supplier.
I think the government and the Minister of Energy, they've explained extensively the circumstances under which they feel that the previous agreement or the deal with Quantum was not in the best interest of the country and why they believe that this one is the best. So I am reliably informed that there wouldn't be any issue of judgment death and that it's there's a condition precedent that Quantum has refused to meet. So in that sense, I don't have any serious problems with that. I would have had problems if indeed it would have resulted in the judgment death. But as it stands now, we need the regasification facility, and the earlier we construct it, the better, because then it will enhance our energy security.
It means a lot. It's like you rightly said, it's a big player, and once they are on board, it sends signal to others that this is a serious market that others could come and do business. But I thought there was this agreement with Equatorial Guinea to also supply gas. So we need to be clear that we don't sign too many gas agreements that we probably, I'm sure they have their eye on the ball, but Gazprom is big. It's a big player in the industry, so it could spawn some interest coming from other equally big players in the gas field.
Okay. Executive Director of Kite, Ishmael Ejekumhene.